community. It's a great day. My name is Sheila Hardy, and I'm the founder and CEO of Because It's Personal. And here with me is my co-host, Ericka. I heard it through the grapevine, Scott, of LifeChangers, Inc. And this is the Community Nonprofit Network podcast, aka CNN. Our motto is, where your nonprofit shines. Ericka!
Sheila!
How you doing?
I'm wiping tears out of my eyes, but I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Now, I know we have a special guest today. Can you tell me who it is?
Sure, Mr. Corey Allen of Society for Charity. He is a special young man in a lot of ways, and of course, near and dear to my heart, simply because he is a true believer, and not because he told me, because he actually didn't tell me, but he not just talks the talk, but he walks the walk. And so I'm really interested to get into this because I want to know what even gets a young person started in giving back, whether it's through a nonprofit, volunteering, whatever the case is. So you ready to get into it?
Yeah. Yep. Let's go.
All right. Corey, how are you?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
We are doing great. We need to know all about what you and Society for Charity is doing. So can you first tell us a little bit about your backstory, about you, what you do for business? Because I understand you have a for-profit business as well. And so let's hear a little bit about that and why you even started in the nonprofit world.
Great. Yeah, I got my own business. I got non-medical transport business. So what I do is I pick up people all over Metro Atlanta and take them to the doctor. My own company. So I quit my last job, my last clock-in job in January. So ever since then, I started doing this on my own, including my nonprofit. So when COVID hit, everything went to the left. So I started looking online and brainstorming and coming up with my own thing because, there ain't nothing like having your own business, So
oh yeah,
it was laying people off and, you just, after a while, I just got tired of working for other people. So my, lifetime goal has been, to be my own boss. So even when I was a little boy, I didn't have to, I always knew what I wanted to do, I know I didn't want to be no doctor, no lawyer. I wanted to own my own business eventually. So, so God gave me that, vision and thought as a little boy. So I'm still not there, but I'm almost there. But I'm still.
Where is there? Pause there and tell us where there is. Where do you see yourself when you've arrived?
When I arrive, I want to have multiple houses. I want to have multiple businesses. I can just kick back and have some residual income. So my son and my grandkids, if I have any, they can have something to look forward to. They don't have to work for somebody if they don't want to. They can just take over my old business, at that time. So that's the way I look at things, and that what motivates me. But I still got a little youth on my side. I want to build up some business so I can pass on. I can't pass a job on, but I can pass a business on.
Amen. Yes. Awesome. Now, what kind of work were you doing?
I was fixing medical equipment all over Metro Atlanta. I did that almost 4 years, and prior to that, I was working at the Kia plant in West Point, Georgia. So I did that almost 7 years. So
okay.
even in between time, I was always messing around with a little part time, side hustles, working for myself, no matter where I worked at. So I'm 100% working for myself now since, like I said, since January.
Okay.
So you started actually this past January with your new job?
Yeah, actually I created my new job about 2 years ago, and I was doing it a little bit on the side, playing around with it, but something happened and the opportunity came for me to leave my old job. I just did this full time, and I was able to do my nonprofit full time. So I put more energy into that. So, one of my personal mottos is, don't work hard on somebody else's job than you do your own. So
awesome.
I took that advice, and ran with it. It started in January.
Awesome. Yeah, that's true. Well, I personally have always, as a business coach, as a mentor, I've always told people to use your job as on the job training, to do your own, you know. So, when I worked for Cobb County Parks and Rec, that, taught me everything I need, not everything, but a lot of what I needed to know to go into transitional housing and programming and that sort of thing. So yeah, you might as well get paid while you're learning. You know, that's why I tell anybody, if your supervisor tells you, hey, I need you to do this, don't go sucking your teeth and roll your eyes. Look at that as a pay raise, because that's something else. Now you get to put on your resume and your application. Yeah, I know how to do reports. Yeah, I know how to, count down a drawer. Yeah, I know how to do, whatever. So that's a good attitude to have.
So what I'm hearing is that you have a nonprofit and a profit, business. And your profit business, you actually, and I want to make sure I got this, you actually started doing it full time, your nonprofit this year?
I started my nonprofit last February.
Last February.
When I did my, working for myself full time was in January of this year. But my nonprofit started. So I've been doing that, next February that's coming. That'll be 2 full years of having my 501c3 status,
For your nonprofit. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about now. Your nonprofit. That's awesome. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your nonprofit.
Well, I'm gonna give you a backstory. It's gonna be real quick. Back in 2000, unfortunately, somebody said my mom and me and mom were staying together. I was like the last one to leave the nest, but I was staying with my mom, and somebody set we were staying at on fire. So what happened was the American Red Cross had set us up a place for like a couple weeks with food and housing. So I was around 20, and I was like, you know what, I just thought it planted a seed in me. So when I got old, I said I was gonna give back to how they gave. It wasn't that, it wasn't much, but they gave me something. When you ain't got nothing, a hamburger's a lot. So,
Right.
So and that was in 2000. So God watered that seed. So and I was already doing helping the community with doing different work the last over the years. So when the pandemic hit, like I said earlier, I just sat down and said, you know what, I'm gonna do it for myself because I got my own vision. You get tired of doing it for other people. So even with nonprofit work, I just did my own because I got my own vision. So I filed the paperwork early last year, and it came back, and they approved me, and I've been doing a lot of work on my own, with a lot of volunteer help ever since.
Okay. Now, going to that, what does a day in the life of Corey working with Society for Charity look like?
So I'm up under like the feeding the homeless. That's what we do. So I've been feeding the homeless with other groups, for the last maybe 4 years. So I do, that's what I'm up under, but I do other things too, like backpack giveaways. I gave away laptops. I'm working on a scholarship for the seniors this year. So in May of 2023, I'll be able to give out scholarships. I'm working on Toys for Tots. I'm doing that and giving out bikes and just anybody that need help. They don't have to be a homeless person, but I helped a lot of people. Not bragging and then, but just facts. But that's why I call it Society for Charity, because I want to help different forms of the society. That's economically depressed. Because they ain't got to be homeless. Because a lot of people not necessarily homeless. But they still need help. Like a lot of us were 1 or 2 cases away from being homeless ourselves.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that's what I do. I do a lot of missionary work, for lack of a better term, around the community. And so for example, what I'm gonna do later this month or probably next month, I'm gonna do something for the elderly. I'm gonna pick a nursing home in Noonan and just giving them some socks or puzzles or something just to encourage them, let them pick a couple things off the table. So I'm working on that as we speak. So
Okay, let me pause you there. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Corey, but talk to us because we have, we cater to new nonprofits or like stuck nonprofits who may have been around a while and just maybe had to pause what they were doing and go to work or whatever. Talk to us about your network, your resources, how when you're gathering resources, what does that conversation sound like when you're calling ABC Company looking for donations?
Well, I take a totally different approach. I rather, you can ask your family and friends. You can even ask, I have asked big companies, they might give you a gift card or, after you get a couple dollars from your family and friends, it might be one time and it's done. So my different approach is I have teamed up with major networks across the South, I get volunteers and and what we do is we raise funds like that, so I don't have to worry about no fish fries or wash no cars or nothing. So that's how I get my donations. So
now but wait a minute, when you say raise because we go step by step through things on here. So when you say raise funds like that, like what do you and your volunteers do to have donations or goods coming in?
Okay. I'm gonna give you an example. Say if I team up with World Congress Center, say they're having an event, they need people to park cars or security or something. I call them and say, hey, I got 10 volunteers, and they give me a portion of the proceeds that go toward my nonprofit. So I won't have to beg for like I said, I don't have to ask that much. I still take donations and stuff, but I'd rather make the donations, like that. So the volunteers, they giving back, and now I got the funds to help to do the things, the programs I got in place because like I said earlier, just hard getting, times are hard. So people really, with inflation and all of that, it's kind of hard to get money from people, like that. So I'd rather just do the work and get the money from a major corporation.
Okay, so the World Congress Center is having an event, and you have, because we're going to break this down now. So you have 10 volunteers. Where'd you get the volunteers from?
I put them online. I put up ads online. It's volunteer or website that you can put up ads. So say for instance, I say it's a concert coming, the World Congress Center. I need 10 volunteers on such and such date, and people respond. They email me or text me or whatever. Say, Corey, I'll be there, or Corey, I need volunteer hours for my college, or I get people. Some people just want to get out of the house, so some people are retired, so it's everybody got their own different reasons and stuff. But it's hard. It's hard to keep volunteers sometimes because people want to get paid. But that's the hardest part, just keeping and getting volunteers at this point.
So you keep a list of volunteers and you email them when you have something coming through, and then if you don't get enough of your usual volunteers, you go. Give us a couple of the volunteer websites that you use.
Great one is it's called Give Post. Give Post like Heartbeat. Go there and you can set up your account. You got to have 501c3. You definitely got to have that for most of the stuff I apply for. You got to Give Post is a good one. Idealist is another good one. It's the same format, but just different wording and stuff. Just put your event on there, and you put down how many volunteers you need, the time and the date, and just let God do His work. See who. And
that second one is Ideal Post.
Idealist.
Yes. Oh, okay. And those are those like volunteer match? You put in.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Okay, I hadn't heard of those. Sheila, have you heard of those?
No, I'm totally lost.
Okay. I'm learning. I'm taking notes.
I'm lost when it's like, I never heard of that.
Never heard of those either. Awesome.
That is awesome. Wow.
One thing I've realized is as we have people on here, Corey's been on, has been a nonprofit for almost 2 years, and he knows so much more than we do, and we've only been in since January this year, and someone will come in, next week, and and it seems like we've been around forever because things just grow so quickly and change. Corey, would you say a lot has changed since 2021 for you and your nonprofit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm getting a lot more volunteers. So when your name get out there, when you be on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you put up posts with, you know, what you're doing and some, you know, algorithms that's in the, on the computer, you know, in some kind of ways pick it up. You can Google my name and you'll see some events I've done. You might see a picture of me, you know, when things have grown a lot because, you know, pretty much, you know, everything is most technology based and on this phone. So anything you want, you can you gotta be tech savvy to a certain degree. You know, you gotta put it on the phone and on the internet and all that good stuff because you're gonna get left behind, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you, when you say events, what events do you do?
Oh, no, just like sporting events, boxing, football, whatever, you know, whatever venue I have, you know, whatever they got in that venue, you know, you can do it, you know. I mean, if they need you, you know. So
is that where your main driver of donations comes from? You find an event and you bring in volunteers?
I would say, yeah, I get more from doing events than people just handing me a check or whatever. I would say, yeah.
It sounds like to me the sports is where it's at because you're getting a lot of attention because of the sports fans. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I say at least 50% of it sports fans and you know, like concerts and stuff like that. So, you know, you do a Mary J. Blige concert, I mean, I might sign up for that myself.
Dude. There you go.
So, you know, it get kind of, you know, sometimes it get, you know, like the example I gave you about Mary J. Blige, you know, you might get 15 people to sign up, but if you do somebody that's not popular or South Korean band or something, you might only get 2 or 3 people. And, you know, in people I'm working with, they might want 5, you know, at least. So I run into a little small problem like that, but, you know.
And what would you do in that instance?
I let them know all I got are 3 people tonight. They're going to have to send me some, a tip or something, some help. So, I mean, you only bring who you can bring as volunteer. Like I can pay them. So, you know. So.
And then, okay, and at a Mary J. Blige concert, they're jumping on it because I'm guessing they get to see the concert?
Not necessarily. They might see some of it. The good thing about Mary J. Blige and people like that, they're gonna come on last. So if a concert started, you know, we'll say 7:00 and they come on at 10, people pretty much bought all the food and drinks and all that. Cause what I do a lot of concession work. So about 9:30, you know, Mary J. Blige still you know, still putting on makeup or whatever. You know, so, you know, if I have a lot of volunteers, you know, if I got, we'll say 8 volunteers and then it got slow, I'll tell 3 or 4 of them, they can, you know, look at some of the concert. And sometimes they just shut the booth down and say, all right, Corey, that's it. You know, y'all ain't selling nothing else. You know, they might not watch the whole show, but they'll watch maybe one whole performance from Mary J. or somebody like that.
So what are you selling in the booth?
Pizza, hot dog, you know, just concession food.
And that comes from the venue or you bring that?
No, that's the beauty of it. Only thing I gotta do is bring the people.
Really?
Yeah, that's good. You can't beat that.
So all you're bringing is the labor to do the work and they have the work already for you.
Right, I'm telling you, I've been researching the study, yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That's genius. Awesome. That's genius right there.
Yeah.
The days of fish fries and washing cars and picking up paper side of the road, you know, that ain't, you know, by the time you pay for the fish, you know, beg somebody to buy it, you know, you ain't made them $50, you know, $100, you know.
So, okay, so on a Mary J. Blige concert or a World Congress Center event, parking cars, what do you look at taking home?
It's a percentage. So we'll say events, they may charge, they may give me $50 a head or something like that.
For a head of who? The volunteers?
Yeah.
Oh, so you bring 10 volunteers, they'll give you $50.
No, 500.
$50
That's what I'm
per.
saying, Father. That's what I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
that's why if you do a 2-hour concert, they gave you $500 for your nonprofit.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, you know, that's just an example now.
Now, how often do you do events?
It just depends on me. I might just keep it real. It just depends on the availability of my volunteers and what I got going on, and it depends on a few things now. It depends on do the arena need, how many they need. Like they might just need 5 volunteers, because they might not sell that many tickets. We say they sold 5,000 tickets, so they say, okay, only 1,500 of them gonna buy something, so we only need 3 stands. That makes sense.
Right.
So it depends on a lot of stuff. It ain't easy. I'm saying it. It's still some work into it, but after you get the ball rolling, you can make it happen.
Now, do you have the rapport with these venues to where they're calling you, hey, Corey, we need your help?
Yes and no. What they do is they might have a calendar for December. I know Keith Sweat coming on Red Folk Christmas, something like that. A New Edition coming with Bobby Brown. I put up an ad and say, hey, I need some volunteers for the Bobby Brown concert. So I already know in advance. Now, if they short one night, they might email me. And say, hey, can your group come? That happens sometimes.
Okay. How did you? Let's backtrack. How did you even come up with that idea, that business model?
Going back to God, when you run into people and just network with people, like I'm networking with you guys, doing this interview. So I ran into the right person, and they brought the game to me. At first I didn't take them serious, but when I started myself, because I didn't have my paperwork at the time when I knew about it. So I got my own paperwork, and and I went from there. It went from there.
Okay. So now, is that kind of donation? That's what buys the toys for the Toys for Tots drive?
Not necessarily for that, but it buys a whole lot of other things. Cause Toys for Tots, they pretty much they're gonna give you to a certain amount of things, but it's a lot. Most of the other stuff I named, it's gonna help with that. With the backpack giveaway, or the laptops, feeding the homeless, some of the other things I do, the scholarships or whatever, it pays for that. But Toys for Tots, they didn't need somebody to man that, really.
Okay, well, talk to us about the scholarships. That's interesting.
Well, this will be my first time doing one, so I'm thinking about doing, a little small scholarship. I might make a kid write an essay. I might do 2, depends on my how many donations I have. So just make them write a scholarship, have a B average, just the basic format. And
where will you post that?
I might do one. I might put it on my social media page.
Okay. Where are you on social media?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. And so that scholar, of course, you're going to let us know so we can share it on our page too, right?
Absolutely.
Of course. So now the Toys for Tots, you said that Toys for Tots gives you toys to give away?
It'll be my first year, so yeah, what you have to do, you have to apply, at a certain time. We'll say the cutoff date is October the 15th, and there's apply. You put how many toys you need. Well, how many kids? We'll say you need 100 toys for 100 kids. They have you fill all that out.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Do y'all have y'all 501c3?
Yeah. But I used to interact with Toys for Tots because I used to run a rec center for Cobb County. Mm-hmm. And I referred a lot of, and that was over 20 years ago, so maybe it's changed, but I would have my kids go to whatever location, they give different dates. This day will be here, there, wherever. And they would, go out there to where they were, but it was never a matter of, okay, well, if you have that many kids, I'm talking about like over 100 kids, and it was never, okay, well, we'll bring a truck to you or come pick up a bunch of stuff or anything like that. So that's why I say it may be different now, but, that's still good to know.
Right.
Yeah, that's still good to know.
There's hundreds of different companies that you wouldn't think of that actually do stuff for nonprofit. You might just Big Lots. You might just go to biglots.com and scroll down and just put nonprofit. They might just give you $100 gift card. I mean, it's just so much. It's just hundreds, if not thousands, of different ways you can get money for your nonprofit. Not just holding cups, and begging for change or whatever. But you just gotta. What I do, I just think outside of the box, that's how I came up with a lot of this stuff.
Wow.
Okay. So now, well, I because my nonprofit, LifeChangers, we do employment skills training for returning citizens and justice-involved men and women. So, of course, when you say laptop, my ears go to tingling. Talk to me about how you get your laptops. Where are you getting them from?
Oh, out west. It's a company out west. I say I need laptops, so I just kept searching the web. I found a company that rebuilds laptops. They resurface them.
Now, I know that they do that. I think it's going past Gainesville, Georgia. I think I know what you're talking about. What's the name of it? Because I think I've been there before.
I need to know that one because the one
you said out west, like Cali.
I'm talking out west, like Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Oh no. This one, if I can't remember right now, but it's in Athens, I believe. And what they do is they ask people that if they don't want their laptops anymore to just donate. And what they do is they clean it and then they rebuild or whatever. And they give it to, a lot of times they give it to kids that don't have laptops at home.
Right.
And they do that, but it's been like years since, and I don't know if they're still available. I need to see if they are. But that, you saying out west, you talking about out of the state.
Right.
Yeah.
They do it similar, but what they do is, I mean, you can get a laptop, less than $100, but, that probably would have been $500, and also they got free internet. A lot of people don't know that if you on WIC or, if you on, food stamps or whatever, you can get a free hotspot. So right. They deal with that stuff like that as well, and you can order as many as you want to. You can order, 20 of them you want to. You got to pay for them now. Like I was saying earlier, that's how I use some of the funds, but it's still at a major discount rate.
Yeah, if you're only paying $100, I mean, even a Chromebook costs like $200-300, and that's, as cheap as you're going to get. But a Chromebook really isn't like a full-blown laptop. I mean, it'll get a lot of stuff done. Anything Google it will do, but.
I was going to say, once I find that information over there in Athens, I'll let you know, Corey, because that would really help, especially it's in Georgia. So I will let you know, about them. I just have to go and do some more research if they're still available. I'm not sure if they're still available or not. But I went there before, and I had given them my old. It wasn't a laptop; it was a desktop, and they were grateful for it. And they clean it again. They clean it out or whatever, and then they rebuild. But also, what they do is they take young people troubled young people, and if they have a knack for doing certain things like that with the computers, they get them to come there, and then they work with them and get them, off the street and doing something that is really good. So I don't know if they still are doing that or not, but yeah, that's what we need to do is, something like that. I wish we had something closer, and that's really something to think about. If we had something closer, because Athens is pretty far.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, from where we are, everybody. Whoever's
well, it's especially far from Corey because he's further south than you are.
Yeah.
Computers for Causes. That's what it's called. Computers for Causes. And they do the same thing that you just said, Sheila. They take in computers and laptops and clean it up, fix it up, refurbish, and they donate them.
Now, this is Computers for Causes is here in Georgia?
I believe so. Actually, because I was looking to get so many, I was going to have them shipped, but, we didn't get that far because you have to apply. Okay. And they didn't approve my application.
Well, with all three of us, we can figure out.
Yeah, but that I just want to put the name out there for anybody listening. Computers for Causes.
And anybody else that's listening, if you know, of even some kids or anything, we can start something new. I mean, in an area. I know it's not new, but we can start something in certain areas, and that could just go crazy. That can really be good. So, yeah, if anybody's thinking about that, and Corey, you got a genius mind. You might be able to get something going with that. That would be really great. Really great.
I want to shift gears, if we may. I want to, because the only thing I knew that you did before all of this other awesomeness came to surface was about feeding the homeless. So let's go back to that and talk to us about, where you get those resources from and what a day in feeding the homeless looks like.
Well, I partnered when I started, before I had my nonprofit, I partnered with a lot of other nonprofits, and we still meet, like one Sunday every month, the fourth Sunday every month, and, different people, prepare dishes. One of the main things I used to do is actually get clothes and shoes and stuff. So we do both. It's dual, it's clothes and food and clothes. So we pretty much, they also do things on Thursdays, the pandemic hurt us big time. We couldn't, do certain things. And it was a park called, Hurt Park downtown Atlanta by the state. So, they kind of stopped us from coming there. They put a fence around it because when word got back that we was like feeding the homeless is like feeding, a stray dog, basically.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
yeah, that's
what out there. Yeah, they're gonna keep going back.
That's where they came back to us. So we had to kind of, do things differently and slow down. But it's picking up big time now, especially with the holidays coming. Mm-hmm. So that's how that look. People bring different dishes or bring socks. Blankets, whatever. Anything you can think of a survival mode, especially during the holidays when it get cold. Like it's starting to get cold a little bit now. So blankets, socks, shoes, jackets, whatever. So that's how that look, a day of feeding the homeless look. And, when people know they're disenfranchised, they upset. So they got a lot of them, to keep it real, a lot of them on drugs, a lot of them are mentally ill. So I had to break up a couple of fights.
Wow.
Yeah, people breaking in line and people grabbing a pair of pants that, just little miscellaneous stuff that, they was doing out there. So, it's a lot of work, a lot of people, hurting right now.
How many people on average would you say you're serving on that fourth, Sunday?
I say, maybe 70 to 100, maybe 70 to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. People come from all over. I guess they get the word out and, people just come from all over getting food and clothes and some people, we cutting people hair, got, barbers there and, it's all kind of different things, people doing. I definitely send y'all the information, after the interview.
Yeah, please. So you said people cutting hair, what, out there on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So you wouldn't believe how many kids are homeless, in Atlanta,
Oh,
we got up to 7,000 people in Atlanta are homeless, and a lot of them are kids, maybe a third of them,
Now you're saying kids with their parents or by themselves?
Mainly with their parents. You got some teenagers and stuff that, for whatever reason, they left home or whatever, and now they homeless and, they don't want to go back home or they can't go back home. Or some people some people that leave New York and different places and they just come to Atlanta, and they figure out it ain't what they thought it was, and now they homeless for a couple months or a couple weeks or, however long. So you'll be amazed at, how in the world this person or that person is homeless, but homeless don't care about age, creed, or color, And,
nope. Or where you come from.
Yep.
Yeah. And especially, I tell Sheila that all the time when we're talking about rent and all that. You know, I'm from New York, and I remember standing on the picket lines to get rent control. So when my rent went from $13.50 to $17.75, you know, from one lease to the next, I'm like, you know, that difference alone is more than my mother was paying by the time I left the apartment in New York years ago, after being there almost 20 years. I said all I knew was rent, it can only go up this much, you know, this small percentage. And here I go, even my rent here in apartments and stuff before that, because I've been here since 93, never went up more than like $50 in a month. And that was high. It's like, well, what happened to the $25 from the last time? Well, you know, increase. This time, it was, of course, in the pandemic last year. And I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. I don't know how it works for anybody. I know it wasn't gonna work for me. The kid had to vacate the, premises quick. But, it is sad, because there are kids out here, and if you have grown adults who are struggling to make it, and they have degrees. I used to, volunteer at a homeless shelter, Must Ministries in Marietta, and, I did intake, and one of the people that came in was a businessman, and you can look at him and tell, are you here to volunteer? And he said, no, I need a place to stay. And, he had just lost everything from one bad business deal. And so, like you said, we're all just one or two checks from, and I think they say the average person is just one check from being homeless, and it's a sad thing. But when you have the economy going like it is now, and I tell y'all what, I'm not an economist, but I do know a little bit about numbers in spite of my oops earlier. And that is, with these interest rates going up 4 times in 2 months, hang on to every penny you can scrape up. Every penny you can scrape up. And, you're feeding about 100 people now, Corey, but you may be serving, 3-4 times that much in about 6 to 10 months.
Understood. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So now, what are you looking for as far as growth with your nonprofit? Where do you see yourself in like 2 years?
I want to start, maybe I can start a couple chapters across America, and also, I want to see growth in the people, What I mean by that is, I don't want to just give them a fish. I want to, teach them how to fish. I want to know why you're homeless. I don't want to just keep giving you food.
Right.
Clothes every year. I want to know why. Set up some educational programs or just awareness. Let people know that hey, they humans too. They might just have some mental health issues or just hit hard times, and just educate not only the person but the community. So you got the state capitol. You got people. You got of course the governor. Right, I know he see it every morning because I see it when I ride by. So
I'm not.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm tipping up on that one.
But it's we need awareness on both sides. I want more awareness on how to get out of the situation, and more awareness on programs. They're getting way more donations and money than we are. So they got a budget to help people. They buying yachts and going on trips and stuff. So.
Well, there you go. You're answering the question. Because our leaders are not, we shouldn't be going through this.
Exactly.
So we know what's going on. It's, and we have to take the brunt of the whole thing. My question to you is, and I wanted to ask you this, but I wasn't sure, but your age group, do you usually work with 20 and something, millennials,
volunteers?
Yeah.
Oh, younger than that.
What's your age group?
My son, 15, he volunteered with me a month or two ago.
Awesome.
He actually volunteered to help serve the homeless before I even got my 501c3, so he couldn't have been no more than about 12 or 13.
Ooh.
Even with my business I got and stuff, I teach him and show him, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I know through osmosis, I know he's seeing it. So when he get older, he'll do the same. Well, hope he do better than me. So, I take any ages, but certain events, 18 and under, 17 and under can't really help me. But, cause, for the rules or whatever. But, I take any age, especially feeding the homeless. Anybody can come out. Because, we need all hands on deck.
Now, is it just you, on the business side, or do you have help there?
I got a board. You mean like, on my
Well, your board, admin, helping to get these resources, make these phone calls, send and receive the emails?
No, like I know, man, when you start, when you have a passion, that's for everybody, all genres of, for every avenue of our business. You might have people on your board and stuff, but, you're going to take the person that most times start, they're going to take it the most serious. And, I depend on myself more than anybody. So, but yeah, I get advice and, I got board members and stuff, but, the bulk of the work probably is done by me, to be honest with you.
Okay.
No, I understand that. I totally understand that one. My question to you is how do you make time to do your nonprofit? Your job, not your nonprofit, your profit, your job, because it seems like you got so much going on with your nonprofit. It's like, now with your job, you can take clients or yeah. Okay, you can take clients or you can reject clients. Is that what I'm hearing, or? No,
what I do is, I pick from the database. So like I said, I take customers back and forth to, over their medical appointment. So I know, say if I got an event Wednesday, I know I can't do it as many Wednesday. So I'm my own boss, so I pick which ones I want to do. I want to stop at 12 o'clock. That's what time I'm going to stop. Or, if I want to work 7 days, I do it, to make up for the prior week, if I need to. So that's how I handle that, I look ahead, way ahead, and, I plan accordingly.
Okay. Yeah, I know you referred to your church a couple of times in our conversation on the phone. Do you tie in with them in any of what you do for your nonprofit, or do they support you in any way other than great job?
Well, like I said earlier, being fully transparent, people ain't gonna people ain't gonna give you all, if it's not theirs, So, I reached out to some church members and stuff. They know what I'm doing, but I have to depend on the whole neighborhood of people, the old volunteers, mostly not that don't go to church with me. But they know, and I'm still kind of in the infant stages. Like I said, I've been doing it for like a year and a half, 2 years in February, so I'm still setting up programs and stuff, so I haven't gave up hope that they won't help. Not saying they won't, but it's some things I'm trying to set up. Just like you said about the Toys for Tots, I'm gonna need somewhere to house it in the parking lot of the church or stuff like that. And a lot of people know about it. And I have a member too to donate and help me. So, but they know about it and stuff. But a lot of right now, I'm in more of the stages to it than me. I'm more in the fundraising stage right now. I'm trying to build up funds because no matter what your vision is, you ain't got no money, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. So,
right.
The grants and stuff only, they slow. And like you said earlier, one of y'all said earlier, you get denied and stuff. So I don't get the government too much of a chance. Opportunity to deny me because I go get it myself.
Well, let me ask you this, because you said you had been doing this kind of work, community out and on the ground, boots on the ground, getting it done for years. What made you decide to do a 501c3 to begin with?
Because the way America's set up, a lot of stuff you can't get unless you had the proper paperwork. I can be feeding the homeless for years and not getting the resources. The government, they got billions of dollars to give out, if you got the paperwork. So you're like, having any kind of business, until you get the paperwork, sometimes, you cut hair out of your house, but until you get, a brick and mortar building and stuff, a lot of times you ain't going to really make the money that you thought you would make. So I can go to Walmart tomorrow and say, hey, I want to feed the homeless. They're going to ask me for my 501c3. If I want a pallet of, Gatorade or, whatever I'm asking for, they're going to ask me for my paperwork. So after you get tired of running into that forces you to do what you're supposed to be doing anyway. Gotcha.
Well, you mentioned it, brick and mortar. Are you looking to get a building?
In the future, cause I got some other guys that, got their own, non-profit loan than me. So they got food banks and stuff like that, they taking in, they got way more, material and resources than me. So they approached me about, we're getting a place together. I think they already got theirs, but I might join forces with them. I might get my own, but that's down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like, you might want to get your own. It just seemed like you're that way because it's like you're a take charge guys like, okay, I need to get this done. I need to go and get it done. And it's where you don't want to wait for somebody else. You want to get it done. So that's what I look at it, how I look at your personality. So I could be wrong, but, but I understand. We actually do a segment called What Would You Do? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just, you're just answering it. And just to let people know a little bit about, your personal you. So, all right, here you go. You ready?
I think I am.
All right. Okay.
Oh, we don't have time to think in a nonprofit space.
Oh, you're good. Okay, here we go. Please tell our listeners, who is your hero and your shero?
Oh man, my hero, I'm real, into history, so my hero is probably gonna be multiple people. But, I would say, I like, Martin Luther King, I know that's real easy. Everybody probably say that. But, Martin Luther King, I like people like Malcolm X, I like revolutionaries that, set the pace for us, so where we at, and where we going. So, and my shero, I like Fannie Lee Hamer or Ella Baker, I like people like that, So.
Wow. That's good.
Great. That is
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. All right.
Nobody else has said MLK, just, so you know.
Don't feel that bad now.
No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
He took a different approach. He got the same results. So, you can come in there, rah, but sometimes you just gotta sit back and just do it. I ain't gonna say necessarily the right or the wrong way, but, you gotta be smart about it, cause, you can't, go in there trying to fight fire with fire, He went a peaceful route, and we still talking about him today. He got a lot of stuff passed and, with boycotting and stuff, it worked, going in there trying to fight them and stuff, they got more guns than you. So.
We won't go there either.
Right.
Okay, well, here we go. Here's the next question. Other than your family, your health, and friends, what are you grateful for?
Like me and Ericka talked about, salvation and God, because I go to Him for everything. So, he's like, he put a battery pack in me every day, since I was a little boy. My mama raised up in church, so no matter what issue I come up with, my wife, I can't help me, my son, or my kids. I mean, not my kid, but my other family members, they can't help me. So I would say God. I know, I won't say that's generic too, but it's the truth.
Okay. That's good. So, Corey, what I want to ask you is, with that being said, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before. If you knew that you could never fail, what would you do?
I could never fail?
You could never fail.
I probably would start multiple businesses all over the world.
All over the world?
Yeah.
Awesome. What kind of businesses?
All different ones, it wouldn't be no certain one, but, I might start a factory, you know, cause the thing about it, you know, we got to employ people, you know, we got a jealous, not a jealous, but selfish, mentality. You know, a lot of times, you know, us, we get a, so some of the things I share with you guys, you know, about my little plan, a lot of us hold it tight, you know. But I ain't gonna tell the next person because, you know, they'll steal the idea and all that. You know, oh, look at me, I made it out, but you didn't, you know. Oh, you know, I'm Oprah, I'm Jordan, you know, everybody else poor and broke, you know, so that's where I look at things. So I was started in different areas, you know, so.
Okay. Now, you know, because you're a history buff, you know that people been stealing from us long time.
Yep. Centuries. Yep.
Long time. So it's interesting how that works. But I remember when Ericka says, you know, what's for me is for me. And
all day. Yeah, I share everything because what's for me is for me.
Yeah,
yep.
She says that.
The more I'm blessed, the more I get blessed.
I'm a little bit laid. Not that laid back. I'm more of a watch, and I try to, you know, ask for wisdom enough to say, okay, Lord, which way do you want me to go?
Right.
Because you do have people that take advantage, and they've been doing it for centuries, like you said. And so, but we have found it in the community of people of color. We have taken on that personality. And when I was growing up, it was more of we watched each other. Was in the neighborhood, we took care of each other. If somebody, if a person had to go to the store, mostly we had to go to the store. You know, my mother say, I want you to go to the store, and the store is right down the street. But you know, if it gets dark or whatever, because we remembered about the stranger danger. And I'll never forget, my mother wanted me to go to the store, and I was very scared. And it worked out where my neighbor was actually, they had a larger family, and they were coming out of the store when I was going in the store, and they said, you want us to wait for you? I'm like, yeah. So it was just a blessing that, you know, you had that connection. Not like that anymore.
I agree.
It's not like that anymore. Okay, well, we're going to do some shout outs. Corey, do you have a shout out for somebody or?
Shout out to Emerald. She the one told me about you guys. She been talking about a mentor for months now. I finally get to meet you guys, you know. And I told that, she said about an interview. I said, I wouldn't mind doing an interview. So I want to give her a shout out for, even, you know, introducing me to you guys and, you know.
Awesome. How about you?
Shout out to Emerald Tooney, CEO, yes. Executive Director, and founder of Feminine Cares.
Yes.
And a former guest.
And how about your son?
Yeah. And your wife, you mentioned them.
Yeah. So he standing right here. I forgot y'all can't see him, but I want to give a shout out to my son, Caleb Allen. He's in the 9th grade. He go to Noonan High School.
And what's his name?
Awesome.
Caleb Allen.
Taylor?
Caleb.
Like
in the Bible, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's my favorite dude in the Bible. Yeah. I be talking to God about all that time. I want all that big grapes that Caleb and Joshua brought up out of Canaan.
Right. And my wife.
Caleb did not play. Joshua and Caleb did not play.
Yeah, man. Those dudes were tough. They were tough. I love Moses too, and Ruth is my girl, but Caleb, that's my dude right there. That's a name to live up to. Oh my word. Yeah.
And my wife.
And Lisa, what about your wife?
Yeah, my wife Lisa Allen.
Hey, Lisa Allen.
Yep. She's a media specialist in South Fulton, so she's a school teacher. So yeah, she been teaching. This is her first year in South Fulton. She's been in Morrow for the last 4 or 5 years prior to this year. So that's why we moved up to the Atlanta area. So she had got a job in Noonan. So that's how we ended up here.
Where are you from?
South Georgia.
Where?
A town called Sylvester.
Really?
Near Albany.
Okay. By Valdosta.
On the other side of Valdosta.
Right.
Close to Albany though.
Oh.
You're right. I used to be on the Albany, when I was, doing local, trucking and deliveries. I used to deliver to the Albany Mall. So I knew it sounded familiar, but I thought it was when I was doing the Valdosta area. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you definitely, that's how, you don't get too much more south than that. That's what's up.
Right.
Well, welcome to the A. Yeah, definitely welcome to the A. We would like to invite anyone who is interested in advertising, with the CNN podcast. Please visit the cnnpodcast.com, click the advertise tab, and, we can either shout you out on the podcast or we can list you on the website. And the same goes for if you'd like to be a guest on a future episode. Visit the website, click the Be a Guest tab, and complete the form with your information. And let's talk about what you do, how you serve the community, and we'll get you on here. And we'd love to give a shout out to Corey Allen of Society for Charity, and all the great work he's doing in the Atlanta, Georgia area.
How do we get in touch with you, Corey?
Okay. You can go to Society for Charity on Facebook, Society for Charity on Instagram, societyforcharity.com. You can, I got a website. You can actually, volunteer and it'll come to my email. So you can volunteer off of that page and you see, a fraction of the little work we've been doing, societyforcharity.com. And also too, I got, Cash App and PayPal if you want to send some donations to help out some of the programs I got in place.
Awesome. Great.
All right. Well, we're going to say goodbye to everyone and we're going to leave you with this. You'll never be brave if you don't get hurt. You'll never learn if you don't make mistakes. You'll never be successful if you don't encounter failure. Have a great day.
Fabulous. And until next time, fam, as always, be awesome and be blessed.